Today's meeting of the Velshi Band Book Club is officially underway. Today I'm joined by Sabaa Tahir, the best-selling author of many young adult novels, including today's feature, the 2022 National Book Award for Young People's Literature winner, All My Rage. Sabaa, welcome to the Velshi Band Book Club.
Thank you for having me. I'm really happy to be here.
One of the themes explored in All My Rage is grief. I want to read a short passage. It says, "It doesn't take me long to get back to my street, and when the motel comes into view, I stop. Because when I walk inside, it won't be home. Amma won't be waiting for me. I sit down in the middle of the road and the wave slams into me, pouring out of my eyes so fast that I can't see. I thought I would eventually write about today, order my thoughts, put my pain into words. Now I realize that I won't. I can't. Today is a poltergeist I'll chain to the back of my brain, one forever linked to freezing desert wind and dirty asphalt, and a loneliness so deep that it shouldn't belong to this world," end quote. That is one remarkable explanation of grief. I mean, a lot of our books talk about grief. Talk to me about this intensity of grief in the novel.
So, yeah, the book is to some degree a meditation and an exploration of grief, long-lasting grief. But it's not just about, loved ones lost, right? My parents, my family, we have lost loved ones, parents, nieces, nephews, aunts, uncles, and there's this really specific isolation that comes from experiencing these losses when you're so far away from anyone who really understands. So it is really grieving not just the loss of a person, but of a culture and a community and a family. And the book is equally about grieving the loss of friendship, of trust, of illusions and dreams, like the loss of childhood. But beyond that, it's very much about what can happen after such losses and about what it means to survive grief.
And ultimately, it's also an immigrant story that you write about. It grapples with prejudice and abuse and bullying. And as you just mentioned, the feelings of not belonging, which a lot of immigrants and immigrant teenagers face right off the page. All My Rage was written just 3 years ago. Given where we are, different than when you wrote this, does the book take on a different weight as you're relating to immigrant stories?
I think that that part of the book is universal. Immigration can be a very lonely experience. It requires incredible courage to immigrate, and it can incite such rage, not just in people, who don't want you here, but in the immigrants who are going through it. Because to be hated simply because of who you are, because you're seeking a better life, when you're doing nothing wrong, when you're helping to sustain the foundations of a nation, and you're met with disdain, that is painful. And whether we like it or not, that is part of the American dream. And I definitely wanted to focus on that in the book.
One of the most relatable and sympathetic parts of the book is when Noor experiences college rejections. I'll read from the book, quote, "We regret to inform you, while your grades and scores were impressive, unfortunately, after reviewing your application, we have made the difficult decision. The letters come hard and fast, like the gunshots in MIA's paper planes. Bang. Bang, bang, Yale, Columbia, Cornell, rejected, 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 5 rejections out of 7. Meanwhile, Jamie's informed all of Juniper that she got into Princeton, and she won't stop asking me if I've heard anything yet. Part of me wants to tell her I got rejected from 5 schools. The 2 I haven't heard from are UCLA and Northwestern, so I'm screwed. You won. Congratulations," end quote. There's a poignant mundanity to this that takes on new meaning when you couple it with the other crises that she's dealing with, which makes this feel incredibly universal.
Yes, look, like when college is your only way out of a place or a situation, it takes over the whole horizon, right? But even when you have other options, college is built up through high school as being this hugely momentous part of your life. It's gonna, it's gonna make or break your future. And hundreds of thousands of our kids are going through that every year, and it's quite heavy. And I remember that feeling, and I wanted to give Noor both this challenge to surmount and also this goal to work toward. And I also wanted to highlight how difficult it is for a kid who has no relatives in college, for a kid who has no guidance in that area, how difficult it is for them to navigate what is really a very opaque process.
One of the other themes in the story, music. It's not a theme, but it's central to the story. I'm going to try not to give anything away. I do want to read a scene toward the end of the book. Quote, "I have a song I've been saving for today. Noor's voice is hoarse, almost a whisper. Do you want to hear?" I nod, but don't turn because I'm afraid that, like a dream, she'll disappear the second I look closely. I feel her breath, light on my neck, and then the cool plastic of an earbud. A guitar strums, a man sings, And it's not a Noor song. It's not a Salahuddin song either. It's an us song about brightness and beginnings and love and hope and everything else I used to think I didn't deserve. Tell me about the role that music plays in this book.
Well, I was one of those teenagers with a Walkman, I'm dating myself, and headphones in my ears, basically from the age of 13. Music made me feel really seen, like there was somebody out there that understood this storm of emotions in me. And music, I think, is still very much the way that young people make sense of the world. It's certainly the way that Noor makes sense of the world. So all of the songs that these characters listen to that are meaningful to them, they are all songs that I connected to, songs that seem to understand me when no one else did, songs that felt like they saved my life. And so I wanted to kind of honor that, all these artists who have meant so much to me. And this was my way of saying, honestly offering like a love letter to these artists and saying, thank you for what you did for me.
Saba, we appreciate your time this morning. There's so much more to the book. Obviously, we just have a short segment, but thank you for being the newest member of the Velshi Band Book Club. Saba Tahir, the award-winning author of many books, including today's feature, All the Rage.